Okay, added to my cart.
You've got the camera. We've got everything else. Shop Godox SA for your production equipment.
How's it, guys, and welcome to another live of Getting to Grips, brought to you by Godox SA and Golden Power Batteries. So just to tell you what we are doing in studio today, firstly, we do have Talia on the streamer, so she's still waking up a bit, so that's why there was a fade to black coming in, but she's handling it. She's there to handle your comments and managing all the cameras and stuff. Then we have this beautiful model that actually is in studio, which we're going to be working with, and thanks to Tyler for bringing his baby through, and we're going to have some fun with that. So also a shout out to Tamba Broadcast Systems for sponsoring us the A10 Mini Pro, which gives us the ability to stream these shows to you guys and give you all this great, awesome content. So what are we going to be doing today? We are going to be shooting a bike. Now you can see we're in pretty much a small studio space, so I've got the bike roughly around maybe not even half a meter away from the actual background. So there's a couple of things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a couple of setups. So I'm going to be doing one with the strip box with a grid, which is in position at the moment. And we're going to actually just move that in three sort of different spaces. So we're going to move the light back, take a shot and just show you how that looks, and then just by moving the light in the middle of the bike and then towards the actual front of the bike, so we feather the light with just one light. But then we're also going to be adding in a couple of extra side lights. We're going to be using the AD300s and the AD400s, and if I need an additional one, I will use a speed light. Okay, so let's look at setup number one. So I'm going to move the light right towards the back of the bike, and if there's any questions or anything when I'm actually setting up, just drop them in the comments, and then I'll get Talia to read those out, or if there's a shout out, she'll give you guys a shout out on that. So let me get this first one into position. So I'm going to be taking this light. I've got lots of weights on this stand, just to make sure it doesn't topple over. Okay. So I've got basically the softbox probably about 3/4 of the way over to the bike. That's where the edge of the softbox is. that's going to give us a lot of top light. So I'm expecting to see a lot of this bike actually in shadow. Now, when you're taking sort of images of bikes and cars, you want to try and get it to show off the actual shape. You want to get it to actually show key parts of the actual bike. So things like on this bike, I feel this bike actually looks quite nice on it on the side view, because we actually have a nice line on the tank. We have the lines here, so literally for your legs to come down, for your arms to come round, for your handlebars. So it gives that nice shape. You want to show that off, because they design these bikes with all this nice angles, with all the nice shapes, specifically for you to ride and experience the true speed of these things. Okay, also another thing I like about this bike is there's not a lot of chrome on it. It's not like a custom bike where it's got lots of engine sticking out. It doesn't have saddlebags on the back. So this is like a sports bike. So we want to be able to give the key elements of this bike. So this big black matte back frame is something that we want to actually make sure we pull out and actually show the shape and everything on that as well. The exhaust as well, it's got a couple of angles on here, so with the lighting we can actually show off that. And then also all these brackets, they all have beveled edges. We want to make sure the light catches all of that stuff. So it's to make the bike look the best it can. Now, this is not the only way you can shoot these things. You could actually use one light, shoot multiple images and actually merge them in Photoshop, and then actually do the post editing. What I want to try and do is get the shot, all the lights in place, so we actually don't have to do too much of that. We just get the shot how we want it. All right. So any questions there, Talia? My question is, where's my camera? Here we go. All right. So like every other photographer on Facebook and YouTube, we always forget to turn on the light. Let's just get that one. Let's just see if that's on. Okay. I don't know why all photographers seems to do this on shows. Maybe it's because it's live, I don't know. Right, so I'm expecting to see this bike. Just get that. I am using Capture One. I am tethering. Let me just tell you what. Canon 60 24-105 lens, Godox X Pro 2 trigger. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this probably in the first two setups. Then I'm going to switch across to my other 6D, which has got the 50mm on, because we're going to do a bit of light painting, and that should be quite cool. All right, so let me crouch down here, and I'm going to be shooting around about 50 to 55mm on this lens. And the first shot I do will be no flash, no picture. That'll be the most important shot of the day. Yep, have we got it there, Tony? They come in? No. Okay, let me take the shot. Okay, so there it is. That means that none of these video lights, nothing is actually interfering with the shot whatsoever. So let me put the flash on. Okay, I'm going to be on camera 3, but I'm going to be crouching down just now. All right, let's take this first shot. Why is it always when you go live, the tethering actually gets you nonsense? Capture One is meant to be very good at tethering. Okay. So if we actually have a look at this first image, do you want to bring that image up there, Talia? So I'm going to just speak to that one. So you can actually see we got the softbox, which is quite cool. We're lighting the top of the bike and everything that sort of sticks out, top of the exhaust, the actual front fairing, actually as it comes around the motor. So that's a cool first shot for the first light. Now, if we want to carry on lighting it this way, then we will need to add in additional lights. Okay, so we're gonna, let me just throw in a AD300. Right. And then I'll actually just move the softbox further, and then I'll turn these other lights actually off. So we won't, so you can just see the difference when actually lighting these up. I'm just going to put the modeling lamp on. Question?
So from a Facebook user, they've asked, would a reflector on the floor kind of give the clamshell effect? Which camera am I on? Number 3 here. Okay, so it will. Just to note that I do have a grid sitting on that softbox. So your light and the height of that softbox where it is right now is going to be quite a fast fall off by the time it hits the bike, go to the floor for a bounce. So on the other setups that I'll be doing, I will be actually bringing a reflector in on the floor, just lifting it up at the back slightly just to create that fill in on the shot. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to put this one light on just in so we can see it actually building up. And did that one come through? I don't think that one came through. What is going on with my Capture One today? Let me take another shot here. There's a third one coming in. I'm just going to check this extension cable. Right. Is my camera connected there, isn't it? It's not coming in on the tether. Oh yeah. Lives. I mean, just now I shot like 20-30 images without no issues. I mean, it's like crazy. Okay. So just bringing this other additional light in, we've now got the front disc brake light lit up. We've actually got that front fairing where it's actually got that black plastic line there. In the other setups, I'll put a little light further back so we can just light that up a bit more. And then we'll probably just adjust that so we can get the tires and stuff in, but I just want to try and get the body lit up quite nicely first. So I'm going to bring another light in. Okay. So are the lights set to separate power output, or must it be the same power output?
I tend, when I'm doing stuff like this, I would actually put each light on its own group, because then I have the ability to adjust if needed. So if I wanted a light on this side and a light on this side, I would actually put them on two separate groups. So if I need to tone down the one on the back, I can, or if I need to tone the one on the front side of the bike, I can do that. So generally when I'm lighting up product, doing product, that type of stuff, I will actually just have everything on separate groups. The only time I normally have the same power on two lights is if I'm doing a background, lighting up a background. Okay. Right, let's get this one in. So I've got an AD400 this side. So I've got the AD300 actually on top in the strip box. And I've got an AD300 on the front shock side. So this one is on group C. Okay, so I just want to get this in position. It's good to have the modeling lamp on when you do this. And then I'll just turn that. Right, so now what I'm going to do is just fire off the backlight on the back wheel and the one on the top. So I've turned off the one that's actually sitting on the forks side. Yeah, all right, that one came in. So this one, you can bring that one across there. Let's have a look at that on a bigger screen. All right, so we've got here, we've got the back wheel, we've got a bit on the back there that can probably go a little bit brighter. So I'm going to put C to about 1/8. 1/8 power. Take it up a stop. I think it came in, Tony, it's just not selected on that one. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's cool. So let me turn on the front light. Let's see what we've got. We've all three lights on. As what I want to try and do is sort of do it where we're not using 5 or 6 lights. I want to try and see if we can use 3 to 4 max and maybe a reflector. Did that one come in? That one didn't come in. What is it about that light? I'm going to switch that one on. Okay. That one came in. Okay, so we can see that one, the front is a little bit brighter than the back, so I'm actually going to take the back one. Also, what I've got is, I've got the ADR14s sitting on the AD400 and the AD300Pro. I've got a grid on the AD400 because I didn't want to, because there's a lot of black there, I wanted it to focus mainly around just that back part of the actual bike itself. So a lot of this stuff is trial and error. So all right. So let's have a look at that one. Get that one on the screen there. So already you can see on the actual petrol tank area how you've got that nice shadow where it's actually showing shape of the actual bike itself on the top. We've caught the light on the actual seat, and we've caught the light on the little section of the seat on the back as well. I think this is the passenger seat that's on top. So that is cool. I think I'm just going to take up. Let's take up. Put it onto a 1/4 power because I think the grid is really pulling a lot of light out of it. Did it come in there? Did I just move across that last one? Okay, so we've got that, so that's cool. So there is the front light can actually move a little bit round so it can hit the tire. I've also got a grid on this AD300 as well. This is where you can actually also put a speed light, maybe just in the back corner or something, and then just also light that up. So let me just get this shot in. Okay, so there we can see there's a little bit more light now on the front tire. So not a bad shot, and as I said, this is going to be really to your taste and to your look that you actually want, either for yourself or for the client is actually looking for. If we were shooting this for the actual brand, then they would actually have a brief on what they want, and we'll probably do it on lighter backgrounds and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is create that nice moody racing look, is what we want. Okay, any questions there? I'm going to turn these two side lights off. And then I'm going to move the top softbox a little bit more over. Right. So now we've basically got this softbox right over the top of the actual bike itself. So it's not totally in the front of it yet. I just want to show you how different the light is by just moving your softbox a little bit forward. Any questions? Nothing. So we've got a little bit more now light from the previous one actually falling onto where the back pegs are for the passenger. So we've got a little bit more light falling in there. Next one I'm going to do is move it almost like we're going to be feathering, like you do in anything like portraits or anything like that. You can actually bring the softbox right to the front. And when you're doing this, please make sure you've got weights on your C-stand, because I'm sure your client wouldn't like your lights falling on their bikes, or you wouldn't want to cry when your light breaks. So make sure you've properly weighted your stands. So now I've bought, which camera am I on there? Tell you, camera. This one. Which one am I on? This one. It's so confusing with all these cameras. So now what I've done is I've bought this softbox right over. We still got the grid on, so it's actually going to feather light more to the front of the bike. It will hit here. We'll still get some shadow in on there. We'll still get light shaping on all the little bits and pieces. So let me take a shot here quickly. As you can see now, we're getting a little bit more light. I'm just gonna so now with this, we've actually now got a lot more light hitting the front from the top light, where we before we were getting a lot more in shadow there. Let me just turn on this AD400. I'm going to leave that in the same position where we had it earlier. Did it come in? Not. Didn't come in on there. Let me just unplug and replug. Okay, so already now we're getting a lot more light into play. Just going to put this one up a bit. Another thing also, when you're shooting these type of bikes as well, is important not to put a block of light over the logos. I mean, this one is a Ninja 30 anniversary, and it's got a little Japanese flag there. So that's the type of detail you don't want to actually remove from the bike when you're actually shooting this with a block of light.
Someone on YouTube asks, do you have a CPL on your lens?
There's no CPL on this lens. Because I'm actually controlling the light and I'm not shooting against glass, or there's not real sort of major chrome on this bike, I don't have it. I normally have it for my 50mm lens when I am actually shooting outdoors. If I'm shooting a bike where I can see the visor, or a car with the windscreens, then yeah, I would definitely use the C-pole. So do you want to bring that one up, Talia? All right, I just want to check, make sure all our logos are I just want to get the hand. Yeah. So you see with that top light, you can actually see even on the handlebars, everything, the light's just falling and dropping onto everything there and giving a nice gradation across all the shape and everything else. Just go to the logos, you can see the logos on the bike. Now there's the only one thing that you see on this black part, we've actually got the grid showing there. So you would actually sit and now position your light a little bit differently to make sure that you're not going to get that reflection in. Now you can put on your modeling lamp and see exactly where this is falling. Yeah. You can even just slightly turn it. I'm going to even just lift the camera slightly just to see. I mean, you can shoot it at a different angle, which I don't like to do. I like to get it a little bit lower. Does that one come in? Right. Hey, hey, hey. Not. Yeah. The beauty of technology when you're running live. So you can play around with that. And I mean, it's like any type of product photography, positioning your lights are going to be key on a lot of that type of thing. But just go to the petrol tank there. There will be also some more grids on there as well, which will lead us to our second setup. Just zoom into the petrol tank on the top. See, we got the highlight on the top there, which is not so bad. I mean, any other highlight that you don't want, you can actually edit out in post. But I mean, that is cool, and I like the way the shadow's coming down on that front. So what I'm going to do is change the setup a little bit, where I'm going to remove the grid, and we're going to attempt to put a diffuser panel above the bike and shoot with the softbox over the top without any grid. So that should give us also a different look. So let me get that one. So any questions while I do this, because now I'm going to have to do all funny movements here now. The joy is, there's the weight. Right, let me just move this one. Tighten this. Any questions? No questions. Just right by my microphone. Hey?
I was wrong.
Why? What's wrong?
I wasn't impersonating the light. Ryan says he loves watching you in the gym.
In the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tell you, photographers don't go to gym because they have a studio that they work out in, that's for sure. With all our squatting and these weights on these light stands are like heavy. Let's bring that down. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's see how I'm gonna get this diffuser over the top of the bike. It's going to be an interesting one. Thank goodness I have the Silens boom arm, which you can get from Golden Power batteries. Let's just move this light out. Right, so just going to bring those around. I think you underestimate how long these bikes are. Right, this will be the reflector we will be using just now. Let me just put it over here. So with the diffuser, it's going to change the light completely, because now what we're going to do, we're going to have a strip box without a grid. So already you got 270 degrees of light coming out. It's then going to hit the diffuser and even spread even more. So we'll get light on the background, we'll get a lot more light flowing all over the place. All right. Tyler, I might need your help here. All right. Yeah, now I'm using right a lot instead of so. Yeah, I need a clip, just to clip it on, so it's right sort of on the edge, clip it onto the diffuser and the, okay. Let's see if I can maybe just bring it a little bit closer this way. We'll sort out the legs in the way just now. This part I knew was going to be the tricky part. Let me just lock all of this into play, because this thing isn't that heavy. Let's just move this one around. Just move that one a little bit more. Okay, so this diffuser is actually what, a 2 meter by I think it's a 1.8 by 1.5. So it's you could do with probably about another 200 mils on top of it. But what I'm going to do is we're going to try and take this as best as we can and try and keep the stands out of the way. If it's behind the wheel, I'm not too phased because I can do that in post. Because we are working in a small studio, so. And if anyone's interested, my studio size is about 6.5 long and 5 meters wide. That's the shooting space, because I've got Talia with all her production stuff as well over there. So all right, that should stay there. Just going to put a second weight on just in case. Any questions? Besides, why is he taking so long? I want to see what it does. Okay, so this strip box is actually the equivalent of like your Godox 1.6 by, I think it's 35. As that camera froze, then you might need to pull the trigger out. And what I'm going to try and do is actually get around about anything between 150 or about 100 or 50 mil above the actual, and it is heavy lifting. So if you thought photography was going to be a nice easy job, think again. Okay, so I'm going to keep the diffuser. Right, that should be solid. I think I have my softbox a little bit further along. So when you do this, I would recommend having an assistant, just to prove to you that it can be done all alone, but just to be aware that you need to watch your weights. I know I'm checking the stand now, and just lining up this, because your boom arm needs to be in line with your highest front leg, so then it doesn't do anything strange. Alright, cool, let's do it like that. Tyler can come here and just put his foot on the back if he wants, just to make sure. While we've got Tyler here, I just see his eyes going like this. That's my bike, don't drop that thing on my bike. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we're going to get out of this. So now we've got no grid. We've taken the grids off, so we don't have a grid on there. So we're going to get a lot more spread of light. Is the camera connected? Didn't come in, did it, Taylor? Okay, let me put this up. I think I'm actually firing. You know what I didn't do? Every photographer's nightmare. No, now I don't have. Now I have the diffuser in the way. But what I'm going to do, because Tyler's on the back there, just hold that. There we go, and I'm just gonna, while I'm here, straighten her up a bit. Okay. So we've got that. So we've got Tyler doing his captain, his captain stance. I'm just going to turn off A, B, and C lights, so we don't get those coming in. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, with the diffuser in, now we've actually got a bit of light that's actually hitting the back, so it creates that also a bit of separation and stuff on there, so that is quite cool. Happy with that. And also we've got that background light quite close as well. Well, the whole bike, the whole setup is quite close to the background. Right. Let me turn on the AD400. Question? No questions. But you don't have the questions, you don't have the comment screen up, so... Right. Right, I did move this one a little bit. I'm going to put the modeling lamp on just to get it in position again. So this might cast a bit of shadow from the light stand, but nothing a bit of Photoshop can fix. There we go, so we got the back. So we're doing this with 3 lights. Now normally you can take up to quite easily a whole load of other lights. I think the other day I got up to 6.
Nice. Nice and simple.
Okay. Okay, we're going to do this one. I'm just getting this light in, and then we'll go to the fun part. Let me turn the light on. That may help. Did that one come in? No, it didn't, because it didn't fire. Tyler, why did you turn that light off?
Watch out.
So we just want to make sure, I've just put the modeling light on just to make sure we're catching a bit of the front disc, and turn the modeling light off. more in on there. And let's throw the reflector in. Let's put a... If you don't have a box to lift up your reflector, then use whatever you got laying around. Right, so we got the reflector in there. It might need angling a little bit more, but let's see. Okay, so now that top light's a bit bright for me. I'll take it down a stop. Yeah. So there's 3 lights and a reflector. So you can actually light the bike up in a small space and still have the highlights and the shape and everything else all over. And you'll just zoom into the top of the petrol tank. So now we have that nice sort of diffused soft light coming in through the top diffuser. That's cool. Softer light there. So that's cool. All right. So I know we've got about 15 minutes left or so. So what I'm going to do is actually change the whole setup completely. Which camera am I on? Okay. So now what I want to do is, if I can find where I put it, I'm going to do a light paint on this bike. I'm going to try it with a little LED 6 bicolor light. It's a very small little square. I've actually got them on top of the cameras just to throw in a bit of extra fill. So I'm going to use one of those to try and paint this bike. So it should be fun. If that doesn't work, I know it works on smaller products, but if it doesn't work, then I'll get the AD400 out and we'll do a light painting job to try and light up the bike. So, there's that sew again. Alright, there's the right. Right, you grab all of that.
Yep.
And then I'm going to undo this one.
They're singing your praises.
Singing my praises.
They did a great job. Great skills. Ryan says he loves light painting.
Yeah, look, I haven't done too much of it, but I think it's very cool. Thank you for reminding me.
Cool. It's just my foot. I got 2, so.
The gears are only on the one side of the bike.
Don't you forget it.
Alright, so let's get all this lot out the way, because we'll have to turn off all the lights and I don't want to trip over anything. Put it down towards the... Thanks. And... because we don't want to trip over anything, so I'm going to move everything out of the way. There we go. I'm surprised everyone's not asking me to please show me how you fold that up. No.
That's another secret.
Right, let's get all of this out the way. Right, now to find my light mom, wherever that is. I think it was busy charging. Yeah. Okay, so just put me on the camera 2, Dana. Okay, I am on camera 2. So, there it is. This little light. So this little light here, I'm going to use it on probably full power, and just to show you how it is fairly bright. There you can see the LEDs, or maybe just now, but yeah, there you go, it's bright. Cool. So we're going to try and switch off the lights just now. I'm going to just switch off the side light, this light, and a couple of the light ones that are on top of the cameras. So you should be able to see me because there's more than enough bright light coming from the screens. So let me just start switching these up.
Someone on YouTube was asking for a live demo unfolding a reflector.
I knew it was coming. There's a switch just there, just on that plug. Yeah, that one there. So we're really going dark. So
Load shedding was the best part of life.
load shedding is great. If you're having load shedding for very long hours, start practicing your light painting skills because it is awesome. Let me just switch over my tethering cable to the other camera. So I'm going to be using my other 60. I've got a 50mm STM lens on there. And my camera settings for shooting the bike and stuff was actually set at f8. I think it was f8. Or did I take it down? I can't remember. I think it was f8, 1/60 of a second, and 100 ISO. This camera, I'm actually going to stick it down to 50 ISO. Just so I can try and get rid of the glare from the screens. Let me get this tethering cable in, get the camera on. Right. So this one we're gonna just want to make sure I can still line up, get a nice focus. One thing about the 60s, they're great focusing cameras in very little light. So that focus is locked in. I'm going to turn off this light one. Ooh. Right, hopefully this... Now we've got really nothing. We're dark, 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 guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a shot firstly, just to make sure the well, I think everything will be black there, judging what I can't see. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera on my timer. So it's a 10-second timer. What's that? Believe me, that's what I'm doing, even though you can't see.
Hold the friendly ghost.
Was that 20 seconds? Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get with that one. Hopefully it comes in. Just maximize that because no one can see me. Okay, so we need a little bit more light on the back, and there's a little bit too much brightness on the front. So let me do another one there quickly. But that's just using a little LED, like a LED 6 bicolor.
I'm just keeping the preview up there because I don't want anyone thinking I just changed black actually.
Okay, waiting for the camera. I could probably do it in about 15 seconds the way I'm moving around this bike. Yeah, I'm going to take it down. So let's see what that one looks like. Hopefully the tethering comes in. Yeah, I mean, we lit up the whole bike. Okay, I'm going to do another one where I'm just going to actually light up the top. I should get the nice tubes from Godox to do this. It'd be quite cool. Okay, let's see what that one comes in like. Just go to that one. That should just be the top of the bike. There you go. So that is cool. So I'm gonna just borrow another light mon. And I'm gonna do some real kung fu stuff with this. Hopefully I can get it off. I had to choose the light mon that was the tightest one ever. Okay. So I'm going to get my fingers lined up first on these triggers after I've pressed the button on my camera. Ah. It's a shame I can't see what I'm doing. I mean, I'm doing somersaults here. I couldn't get the one actually on there. But yeah, I'm going to turn the lights back on because I'm not scared of the dark or anything. I just prefer to be in the light. Let me just switch these cameras on.
Cameras.
Oh, not cameras. Lights, whatever we got. So, where is that little light mon that I had? Where's those little light mons? Where did I put them? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, they're on the floor. Ah. So, which camera are we on? We're on camera 2, hey? So, light mons, you can play around with that. It is nicer with tubes because they are a little bit longer and you can actually take the tube right across the front of the bike and then take the tube across the top of the bike, and you can even then change the color of the tube and run it down the background and create this beautiful portrait of the bike. So I don't know if there's any questions there before we wrap up. Any questions there? Nothing? Right, so what I'm going to do is, obviously there's light mons, they're very cheap. I think they're about $4.95 or something from Godox.co.za. You can use my code, which you'll see at the bottom of the screen, and then obviously anything else Godox you can get from there. The black backgrounds I get from Golden Power batteries, and anything else photographic you can get from Golden Power batteries, backgrounds, anything, stands, light stands, all sorts of stuff, gels, you name it, they've got it. Yeah, I think then also any events that you want to attend, make sure you go through to godox.co.za, have a look at their events page, what is actually happening. There's a couple of events. I think is it this coming weekend, there's the film expo, filmmaking expo. So there's lots of stuff happening with Godox SA. We've got stuff all over the country that's actually happening, and there's events also planned which I'm going to also be attending later on in the following months. So keep your eyes peeled on those things. If there's anything else, I think also subscribe to the Godox SA's WhatsApp channel, because then you'll get the latest what's happening as well right there to your phone, and you won't have to go anywhere. So subscribe to there should be the scan here, and I pointed to the right side. I'm impressed. Scan it, get there, subscribe to the channel. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I've actually enjoyed it. And yeah, until the next one. So stay tuned. We have F-Stop Live coming with Pakamani on Thursday evening. So be on the lookout for that as well. Last week's show was absolutely awesome. So, hold on, my stream director's whispering. Oh, the free basic training. If she hasn't already put it up on the bottom of the screen, register for the free basic training. If you want Godox SA to come to your area, make sure you register. So the more people in that area we can get, the more chances you will have Godox SA coming through and giving some awesome free workshops, paid workshops. All sorts of stuff happens on those weekends, and they are really awesome. And thanks again to Tambo Broadcast Systems for sponsoring the actual streaming devices that we use, and all the knowledge that they also share with us, which is awesome. And it just helps us to get these streams out more better. Better and better and better. Yeah, that's all I can say on that. So thanks for watching, guys. My name is Carl, and I will see you again next week. Cheers for now.
I want the sun.
Operation Night 2D.
Copy that.
Only your future is brighter than us. Shop Godox SA for your production equipment.